back. Act 2 the podcast, episode 126, 126,
What was that hand action?
126, 126, 126 episodes. We are back. It's your boy International Walk.
It's your girl Tosh, the co-hostess with the mostest.
And we are back for another week of us. Act2thepodcast.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify. Again, I checked. We still there. So we still there. Y'all can still go find us there.
And on TikTok.
I said TikTok.
I mean, you may have said that, but I didn't
say TikTok, but TikTok too.
I was reiterating because I think they liked it, even though they was like talking bad about me on one of the clips one time, but I think they like us a little bit over there.
They was talking bad about you.
Yeah, I don't care.
No shit.
Yeah.
But she knows some stuff. She don't know a lot of stuff, but she knows some stuff.
I know what I know, and what I don't know, I don't know.
Maybe she know what you need to know, and don't know what you don't need to know.
I don't know about presidents, and I don't care.
Let's get right to it. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well today. I am.
No. How are you?
What was the presidential finger? I'm probably a 9. I'm probably was an 8 earlier. Transparency moment. I hurt my baby feelings a couple days ago, and we weren't in the best space. And our communication was disrupted, I guess you can say is the best word. I don't know. But nevertheless, we kind of broke through that barrier, and so now, if you would have asked me earlier, I probably would have said I'm at a 7, because I hate when he's not talking to me. But now, everything else in my life was feeling great, but he's the most important part other than God, so now I'm a 9.
Finances
Finances are a 10. I have no complaints there. Continue to be blessed, and I hope that God also uses us to be a blessing because of how he has immensely blessed us. Work is a 10. Work is so good, it's almost a little bit scary. Kind of like the calm before the storm. But I don't want to think negatively. Not that I think it's going to go bad, but work is...
You're actually going to have to work one day.
I have been working. I've been kind of making up my own work, though, because I don't want to feel like I'm not doing anything. But I'm pacing myself. One of the things... I know last week we talked about new hire and all that. But one of the things that I've learned in a new position, it can be scary going into it and feeling like you don't know anything. But what I will always tell other people is you're going to look back 6 months from now and be so surprised at how much you've learned. So I've been telling myself the same. I had a chance to meet my team this week along with the other team that we partner with. And then today I started having one-on-one meet and greets. And it almost feels like we're in... Get Out, where everybody's so nice, and because everybody really loves their job, and it feels like, well, I can't believe all these people really feel like this, but I think it's real. I think they really do. So work is a 10.
Physically,
I'm a 9. I probably could be a 10, but yeah, I'm a 9. I gotta get back to being a little more active as I was on the road to being, but nothing is wrong, thank God, and I feel good.
That's awesome.
How are you?
Mentally.
Wait. Did I scare you?
A little bit. I thought something was wrong.
See, how are you?
Mentally, I am. Oh, this is the crackle. Thought it wasn't. Mentally, I am a 8. To piggyback on what you said, if you would have asked me yesterday or maybe this morning, I was a 6.
You said we're not allowed to be under a 7.
But I was a 6.
Okay.
So I probably would have said a 7, but I felt like a 6. So yeah, and you being transparent, I appreciate that. Especially on camera. So I do appreciate that. But I'm better now. So yeah, I would say an 8. Finances is a 10. God has blessed me, blessed us, and he constantly does. So that's all good there. Work is a 10. Work is fun.
Wow.
Work has been fun the last couple.
You said fun?
Fun.
Okay, I was making sure I heard you right.
Yeah,
Okay.
work has been fun.
I didn't know if you said fine or fun.
No, fun.
Okay.
And it's been like, I don't want to sound fun like I'm having a ball, because that wasn't the case, because I felt pretty down the last couple days because of the situation me and my wife was going through.
Right.
But it's fun because of the work that I'm doing. Like, it's just something different. These people wanted some weird molding up in their, in 4 or 5 different offices, and I enjoy doing specialty shit. So
you always have to get great at it.
Yeah, that's what's fun about it, when you breaking out tools that you don't normally use, and not just your hand tools that you use every day to build straight walls.
Have you used the biscuit?
No biscuit had to be used.
I like the biscuit.
Biscuit joiner. Physicality, I feel like a 9. Had therapy today. Therapy is scary, right? So 3 people went down in therapy the other day.
What do you mean went down?
One person had low blood sugar, one person had low blood pressure, and one person just didn't feel good. And I gotta say, like, I'm in this therapy place, right? And I'm doing my therapy. I'm running, I'm doing all this shit on the treadmill and rowing the boat and all this, and I'm flourishing. And everybody constantly tells me that, like, you're flourishing, you're way ahead of where you're supposed to be, and you're doing great. But it's like, not necessarily like a guilt of some sort, but it just makes me feel bad when I see other people in the same situation that's not up to speed where I am, or not flourishing like I am.
Is it like survivor's remorse?
Yeah, and it's almost like when you see somebody have to stop doing something so minute because they can't breathe, or because their blood pressure is all fucked up, or because their blood sugar is all fucked up. It just puts things in perspective. Like, it just makes me thank God. Like, I was crying on the treadmill, because it was just, and not in front of everybody, but just to myself. Like, damn, like, it's people in here like really, really struggling and trying to get out of whatever situation that they're in, and it's hard. It's hard for them, and it's like, you did something so simple as walking on a treadmill at 2 miles an hour or 3 miles an hour. You can't do that, and it's like there's such a distance for them to go to even get back to themselves, if they can even get back to themselves.
Right. Their new normal their sense of normalcy may be a new normal. They may never be able to get back there.
And it's got me conflicted, because it's like, I'm supposed to do 36 sessions of this, and they only said I had to do 18, but I feel like I want to graduate and do 36. I don't know how I feel, but I'll make the decision. But it's just like damn, like, and these new people I'm meeting, I'm learning these names, and people are graduating, new people are coming in, and it's like, damn, some people can't even get past a 6-minute walk, and that's just tough to see.
Does your do y'all like ring the bell for graduation?
No, nobody has cancer.
No, I wasn't saying that to make fun at all. I've never been through like a series of any kind of treatment of that sort, so I didn't know if that was the standard for all graduations of a medical program. Now, of course, I know, thank God, you're not going for cancer treatment, but I didn't know if that was just like a thing.
No, I haven't seen anybody ring any bell.
Okay.
Wows and woes.
My wow is just being able to experience this new career journey that I'm on, and I don't want to get on y'all nerves and keep talking about it, but I might. So what? Yeah, just that's just my wow. This is a message that I wanted to share with people too, is that, and I'll make it short. Sometimes we limit ourselves when we pray to God for what we want. And sometimes we have to ask God to help us, or help us be prepared for what He wants for us. Because, we can ask for this much, and He can be like, okay, you can have that, but I had this much prepared for you. And it's just one of those things. I just think to myself, like, the job that I have now, I am doing things and will be doing things, or responsible for things that I have done voluntarily. And I think you said to me before, or maybe I've read it in a meme, or maybe you shared the meme, your passion is something that you would do for free. And again, part of my job is things that, I've been like, okay, babe, I'm going about. You even did volunteer stuff with me. And in the very capacity that I'm being paid great money, and I say that with all humility, great money to do. And it's just I'm still in that wow moment, like a pinch me moment, but I'm extremely grateful. So that's my wow. My wow again, just hurting my baby. One of the things that I am learning through therapy, through self-reflection, through turmoil is that intent is not what matters. It's the outcome. So even if, whether you're saying something, doing something, regardless of your intent, we do have to be mindful of how it's perceived by others, especially people that we care about, because the goal, my husband and I, we did an episode about this, like, how to fight. We've never been the ones to fight and say mean stuff. Like, we just don't, because that's not what we want to do. We might say some stuff that the other may not like in truth, but never just to be mean or hurt the others, because no matter how mad I am at him, I'm still gonna make sure he's all right physically, mentally, spiritually, financially. I don't want to hurt him. And that was just the whole, like, damn, like, what transpired between us, a small little situation blew up into something not huge but bigger than it should have. And just knowing that, my words hurt you, like that was just a whoa, like, all right, like, remember your tools, you're in therapy, don't regress, think about things that you say before you say them, and yeah, just don't want to hurt you.
Amen.
Your wows and woes?
My wow is that my wow, let me see. I can pivot between three. I'm just trying to think on what could be. My wow is, I'm gonna just go with what's in my heart. The fact that we can get through shit, the fact that we can patch things up. I get super anxiety ridden and super depressed when we're not. And it's just because how much I love you. And I don't ever want to change that. I don't ever want to sit somewhere and think, damn, I wish I didn't love her that much to protect my feelings. So I'm just glad that we get through shit. I'm glad we have therapy. I'm glad we have somebody that's in our corner to talk to. Because I truly do need it. And I'm just thankful for us and how we receive each other. Even if we don't, and sometimes in the end, we do receive each other. So I appreciate that. Woes is just this fucking bad air. Like, I'm not down with the bad air. It's bad air in the air, and it's not good. Like, in New York, the shit's at an all-time high coming out of Canada, and it ain't good for people's respiratory. Old people, pets, small children, like just regular, us adults. Like, it's not cool to be breathing in fucking fumes like this all day long at this minute level. Like, that shit can cause serious respiratory issues, lung problems, cancer. Like, to a person who never smoked can get like secondhand smoke from shit like this. Like, and because their lungs are so clean, but when you smelling this constant scent all day long, it's like you want to suspend all outside work until the shit blows over. So that's my woe, is that it's like last days to me. It's like, this is the shit that you, like, I'm 46 years old this year, and I've never seen a situation from another country, some wind blow in and we get the air. Like, just makes me think chemical warfare and shit like that. People dropping gas somewhere else will totally affect us.
Absolutely.
Totally affect us.
Like, that's like a hurricane. Most hurricanes start on the coast of Africa.
Right. And it makes you think about that butterfly who flaps his wings, who produces the hurricane 100 miles away. But that's what I don't like, is that we got to endure this air. And it's supposed to be worse tomorrow.
And it's crazy because I was just thinking, I don't know. I mean, I know when y'all will see, when the episode will air, and I don't know what the conditions will be then. But what I will say, I work with medical professionals, and maybe they'll say this on the news, I don't know. put your mask on. I know we hate to hear that because it's reminiscent of what, the
COVID.
last few years, but put your mask on, and the N95 mask. And I can say for myself, two things that I noticed, a good and a negative, to piggyback on what you said. I went outside to water our garden. I went to my car because I had mask in there. And I was like coughing, go into my car, get in the house, put the mask on, go outside. And literally, I don't know how effective the masks were for COVID, but I could not smell smoke outside with the N95 mask while I was watering the garden. So that's a good thing. People can say what they want about not, it wasn't helping anybody, with COVID, but at least I couldn't smell it. Does that mean I'm not still inhaling it? I would like to think at least not as much. So I will put that out there. Another thing that made me mad, one of the things I love about our neighborhood, the birds. I couldn't know, and the birds will like be singing and chirping. I was out there watering the lawn, like, it's so quiet. That made me sad because I'm thinking, hopefully they're somewhere safe and hiding.
Yeah, but they go back to protect their young. Like there's a sign of danger in the air that's not normal, so they go back and sit on eggs and protect their young and shit like that.
But it just, God forbid, I don't want to see birds dropping out the sky, but it made me so sad because it was so, again, we love being outside on our property, sitting on our porch or, whatever in the garden, and I love hearing the birds and being out there. I saw one bird flying, but no bird sounds.
It's because there's a soot in the air, and that's what people need to realize. Even after coming outside, wasn't outside all day, but when I came out, except for lunch, but when I came out at the end of the day, there's a soot on my car, not pollen, a soot, an ash in the air, and that's what people need to realize. You're breathing that shit in, and your nose hairs can only take so much, then you got ash and soot in your throat. The animals, the birds and shit will get a little black mark right here from breathing that shit in. It's not cool, man. It's not cool just to wake up on a Monday and the fucking air is this bad.
And we have been watching the news lately, surprisingly, which for years we really haven't. But over the last month or so, we've been watching the news. Shout out to A2TP that shows us local news. And they've been talking about these Canadian wildfires, so this isn't anything new. It just makes me think, what now is bringing the smoke? Because I've been hearing about this at least for the last 2 weeks, maybe longer, but at least for the last 2 weeks. So what about the winds shifted to bring it this way?
And I killed fucking Herschel Walker for being a dumbass saying, keep China air over there and keep U.S. air over here. I just thought that shit sounds so simple for him to say, keep y'all bad air over there and we gonna keep our fresh air. But today was holy shit, he popped in my head, he was fucking right.
But no, it was
bad air over here.
You were right to make him to say that he was stupid, because that's nothing that anybody can control. So that's why it was stupid for him to say that.
Stupid to say, but the concept of keep y'all bad air over there was bro, all the air is mixed up. But I didn't think of it. It just hit me in the face this morning. It was damn. Even when I went downstairs a minute ago, the garage smelled like it's on fire. Yeah. That's not good. Yeah. That's not good. That shit get in your air condition, your filters, all that stuff. And that burn scent takes a while to go out at a house fire. That's what it smells like.
And the sad part is not everybody has air conditioning. It's warm outside. You can't open the windows to let any air in. It just creates a really, really bad situation. People have asthma. It just creates a bad situation. But please, even on your children, put masks on them. Their lungs don't know how to handle this. And like you said, the soot, that little bit of sediment, we don't know what it can do over time. We hear these mesothelioma commercials about things that was in the air from the 70s. Well, what was that, 50 years ago? Mm-hmm. We just have to protect 60 years ago. We just have to protect ourselves. We don't know what we don't know. Just like we didn't know when the pandemic happened, what, that was all new. I'm not saying this is the first time it's been wildfires, but I don't recall, I'm younger than you. I don't recall ever, even local there are wildfires in New Jersey. Yeah. And I have never heard or felt the remnants of them coming down to our local area, to Philadelphia. Like,
and you keep, I mean, you're right, but the terms you're using, like, they're coming from another country.
Yeah.
That's just
I mean,
out
but
of
it's a
pocket
contiguous country. It's not like it's coming across the ocean. Like, Canada is connected to us,
I'm
but
just saying
still,
what it is, though.
it's
another
so
country.
far away.
Yeah.
That's the bigger part
It's the
about
fact
it.
that air from Toronto or wherever it's coming from is coming here.
But I can see if like Michigan, New York, the New England states were affected. They're right there on the border. But for it to be coming this far down, I saw as far as Baltimore.
Maine is probably fucked up.
Yeah, I saw. Well, and I will talk about this a little later. Some comparative data. I was looking at the air quality. Our air quality, meaning our local Philadelphia, South Jersey area, was around 175 to 180. New York City was 325, and I say was meaning earlier this afternoon. I'm sure those numbers probably have increased, but in the What to Learn segment, I did so because I wanted to know what does this mean? Like, obviously it's bad, but what do these levels mean, and how do we need to protect ourselves? Like, what's the max? And 325 is horrible. If I lived in New York City, I probably would be trying to travel south right now if I could.
And find a hotel somewhere to stay in for a week or so, because it's fucking terrible.
Yeah,
it's terrible. Starting the show off, I want to say rest in peace to Tina Turner, who we'll talk to a little later.
Excuse me?
Who we'll talk about a little later.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be the shit?
Yeah,
I had Tina Turner on A2TP podcast.
Well, considering she's no longer alive,
we
I don't
would
want
be
to
about to blow up.
Yeah, I don't want to be in the same realm as her right now.
Well, we'll talk about her a little later, and rest in peace to Tina Turner, and rest in peace to Jacky Oh, DC Young Fly's wife. This is going to be a tough one to get through because I fuck with DC Young Fly heavy. I watch all his stuff. I see him as, just a young fly guy, and I fuck with him. Even when he was on the internet, even, watching 85 South show, he just seemed like a cool dude, like, a guy I could be friends with. And just to have, 3 kids, 2 girls, 1 boy, and have your wife, like, I know how much I love my wife, and I could not imagine, like, having to tell your kids that mommy ain't coming home no more. How do you go about your next day? Family and friends are going to come around, and, everything's going to be good. They're going to take care of food and dinners and all that shit. But it comes a time where everybody go back to their life. And that's when it hits you again that your spouse isn't there, that the person that you partner with, you vibe with, you got together to deal with this world with is gone. Like, that shit, I don't even know him or her, but that shit is devastating to me that he lost his partner, he lost his fiance. And just to think about his kids, his friends, like, I can't comprehend or fathom the pain that he might be going through. And, his spouse felt like she wanted a mommy makeover after having her 3rd kid. And I guess, she might have had this procedure before. A lot of moms out there dive into this procedure after having a baby. But shouts out to DC Fly. Rest in peace, Jacky O. Plastic surgery.
But okay, can I ask a question before we go there? So, and I don't want to speak in specifics, but when you were younger, you have a close family member who is a widower who lost his wife. What was it because of and I understand you didn't have a wife then, so when you're able to more closely relate to somebody's experience, it hits home differently. Do you feel, does that make you more, and I know you've always been, even in our private conversations, you've always been very empathetic to that personal situation for your family member. Does this now make you even more empathetic at all? I mean, it already was there, but does that bring back any of those feelings on a more personal level?
It's a tad bit personal. I thought about it, but it doesn't make it any more and like hit home anymore. I mean, that was horrific when that happened, and when I was younger, but I don't even think that family member could comprehend at that how young
because they
was.
were
Yeah,
young
because
too.
they were young
Yeah.
and didn't really know or understand the gravity of it. Just, you know, lost somebody and that's it.
Right.
But it would be totally different from, you know, I hate to put myself in something like that, so I'm not. But just like a husband losing his wife or a wife losing her husband, like I just couldn't. Like that shit makes my stomach hurt, makes me quiver inside. Like, and I don't know if everybody feel like that. You know what I'm saying? I love my wife to death. Like I need to see her every day, regardless if I say 3 words to her. I need to see her face. I need to look in the sink to make sure she ate. I need to know that she's okay. Like, and I don't have to say shit to her, but I need to know these things. Like it's a part of my being, and for that to be taken away, probably over a decision y'all made, it's just a tragic fucking thing. A tragic fucking thing. And plastic surgery is the culprit of this mommy makeovers. A mommy makeover consists of a tummy tuck, breast augmentation, breast lift, liposuction, and vaginal rejuvenation surgery. That's 5 surgeries in one. And the doctor from Botch, not the goofy one,
right,
was breaking it down on TikTok, saying it's one of the deadliest surgeries you can have is a BBL because
well, that's not a BBL, but right, because those things that you named is different than a BBL.
Right. One of the deadliest surgeries you can have is a BBL.
Okay.
Not pertaining to this because they take fat out your stomach and inject it into your butt, and there's so many veins in your butt that you can send fat through a vein into your heart and you die instantly.
Wow.
And he was like, so along these lines, the BBLs, the breasts, all that kind of shit is just super, super dangerous. And what's even more dangerous is having 5 of these surgeries at one time.
Right.
That's even more dangerous because sometimes your body can't handle all of that. Your body can't. I mean, you're under anesthesia, but they're cutting up here, they're cutting down here, they're moving stuff around, they're cutting over here, they're pulling stuff together, and sometimes you get sent into cardiac arrest. And I don't even think it's that what I just explained, a mommy makeover, those 5 surgeries, the mortality rate is 1 in every 13,000. Okay, this surgery costs between $9,000 and $22,000. Guess how many pounds it takes off after all 5 surgeries are done?
10.
2 to 5 pounds. Like the shit not worth it.
But see, I don't think
all that pain, recovery, oozing, bags and bottles everywhere, like that shit 2 to 5 pounds.
But I don't think the purpose of it is to lose
it's
weight.
Not. It's to shape and make everything look good.
Exactly, right. It's to tighten up. But literally everything. Tighten up your boobs, tighten up your stomach, tighten up your cooch. So yeah, it's not really to lose weight. It's like you said, like, okay, I want to kind of regain my body back. I want to,
some snatch bag, a little rubber band action.
Exactly. A snatch bag is a perfect.
Because I understand you can feel loose after having a kid. I never had a kid, but you know, women say like everything just feels loose.
Well, not only that, I mean, your boobs sag a little bit, your stomach. You know, some people don't lose the weight as quickly as they may like, or even to your point, they may lose the weight, but the skin, they lose the elasticity in their skin, especially I can imagine after multiple children. So I get it. I understand why some women may want to do it this is one of those surgeries, you okay? This is one of those surgeries that is strictly for vanity purposes, not putting a negative connotation on vanity purposes. We do a lot of things. Like I pressed my hair out for vanity purposes because I was trying to go natural and it just wasn't doing it for me.
But still, it's not the same thing. But it's vanity, I give it to you, but pressing your hair out ain't gonna kill you.
But what I'm saying is doing things for vanity purposes isn't always bad. So doing this isn't always bad. Doing things for vanity purposes isn't always bad. But when you weigh the pros and cons, to some, such as myself, it's not worth it to do anything that is potentially life risking.
How about
for
this?
vanity purposes.
Right.
Like it's like, okay, I'm not going to voluntarily, like you said, pressing my hair out. There's no chance I'm going now this is the thing too. If you think about it, if I'm sitting in a tub and gotta press my hair out for vanity purposes, yeah, I could drop it and electrocute myself. I'm not gonna do it. So like when my life is at risk for this thing, even the small percentage, that's when you gotta outweigh the pros and cons. But I think too many people, because they just 1 out of 13,000, you're hoping you're going to be part of the 12,999 that make it out. But that some people are willing to roll those dice.
Here's an unpopular opinion that I have. You can't. How about you don't volunteer to be put under anesthesia for free, for nothing? How about, like, that's not cool at all?
Well, that's like you said, unpopular opinion. Some people think I do what I want. It's my body.
Yeah, but you're going under the milk. And, I say it jokingly, you're going under the white stuff, the propofol, which can kill you. It can send you into cardiac arrest. No matter how good the anesthesiologist is, it's about the reaction to your body.
Right, but when we think about this, so excluding cosmetic surgery, plastic surgery, surgeries in general that happen on a daily basis, yeah, people die, for other reasons. But when now you're looking at a bigger picture in the number of people that die, the odds get even bigger. So people are willing to roll the dice.
But you shouldn't roll the dice. If you have to have a hip surgery, people die having hip surgery. People die having all kinds of surgeries anytime you're put under anesthesia. But you have to have your hip changed. You're in so much pain that you can't walk. You got to have back surgery. You got to have, something done in your body that is inflecting your quality of life. You had a baby, you got a little chubby, vagina ain't as tight as it was, but thank God you had a baby. That it's a reason why that happened. And maybe that wears on women. As a man, maybe my opinion doesn't matter, but I just think that shouldn't be enough to put yourself under anesthesia just because you want to.
But let me say this, like you said, as a man, your opinion doesn't matter. As a woman whose body it isn't, they probably look at it like my opinion doesn't matter either. Nobody's opinion matters except for the person that it is, and hopefully maybe their spouse, because some women may not even take into consideration their spouse's opinion. So that people look at it in a sense to say, yeah, your opinion don't matter as a man, your opinion don't matter as a woman whose body this isn't. I'm going to do what I want to make myself feel good. And I think too, when you're in an environment where you have friends, associates, or maybe even strangers that that have taken this path and they're okay, that when you're looking at the odds, you start to look like, oh, I'm gonna be okay. Oh, I'm gonna be okay. Oh, I'm gonna be okay.
Life is set up like that. You probably know people that go in bad neighborhoods or do shit that they shouldn't do, and they're okay. But that don't mean you should do it, because you can't have that mindset of, oh, it can't happen to me. And that's what that is you're describing. Like, no, it can't happen to me. But if somebody, like, you want this thing done, you got the money to get it done, but they make you sign all this paperwork saying you could die, and it ain't our fault. You could die and it ain't our fault. And you got to sign this shit before you pay us this money to do this surgery. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it.
I mean, in the end, I think anybody
look at it like this: and when you was pregnant with your kids, and I'm not saying this it was her fault, not at all. But I don't think anybody should be doing it. And again, I'm a man. My opinion doesn't matter. But think about how you protect yourself when you're pregnant. You don't put yourself in situations where you can hurt your belly, fall, do anything. Like, you protect yourself when you're pregnant. And the kids is out here now. So I don't want to put myself in a situation where I might not come back to them. I don't want to jump off cliffs. I don't want to get surgeries because I might not make it back home to these kids that I love so much. That's how I would be thinking. And that's how I hope that my wife would be thinking if we had 3 kids.
I mean, even if you
had she talking about, I want some snapback. Like,
well, not only that, me personally okay. So I would bet $1,000, and I always say that because I don't bet at all, but I would bet $1,000 that any of the people who unfortunately, didn't make it out of surgery, if you ask them, they would agree it wasn't worth it. They would agree, I would think. I don't think anybody would say it, but the people who did, who, they didn't have any negative repercussions, they are still alive, they would probably do it again and again and again and again until, unfortunately, if they become one of the unlucky ones that do not make it out of surgery. But this is another thing too. Like you said, there are certain risk factors. You just made me think about the movie Along Came Polly, where he was a risk assessor. A risk assessor. There's certain things in life that people will do. They will take the chance because of the risk or the perceived or potential risk of something happening. Like you mentioned,
jumping. Some things are. I got you. Some things are small and some things are big.
But everybody's level, I guess, for lack of better words, is different. Like you mentioned, jumping off of cliffs. When we go to Jamaica, I'm always like, I want to go. We haven't been to Ocho Rios yet, but I always want to go to the fall, whatever it's called, to jump off the cliff. And I'm a person who, when it comes to elective surgery, because I don't have no children to come home to, but I got him to come home to. I got nieces and nephews who I don't want their mom to have to sit them down and tell them, you'll never see Aunt Tashi again. So not only that, I love my life. Like, I don't want to not come home. So I have had too many required surgeries to feel like I'm going to put my life on the line. Even if it was 1 in a million, I'm not going to put my life I don't want to be in that number for something that isn't required. But again, everybody's risk level or their risk tolerance is different. Because I will jump off a cliff if we on vacation.
I get what you're saying, but we all have a common risk level. We all take risks every day, like crossing a street. Everybody know you can get hit by a car crossing the street, but we all take the risk of crossing it because we trust these fucking lights.
But it's different because you know me, I won't cross on red, and you got people that will.
That's why I mentioned the lights, because we trust these fucking lights. So but people still walked out there in green and fucking got hit by a car. It's a risk you take every day, but those kind of risks, and that might kill you too. That might throw you up in the air, but you still take that risk. I don't think you should be taking propofol voluntarily to put you under. To do 5 surgeries on your body, you wake up. You might be incapacitated for 4 or 5 weeks before you're able to move around and shit. Like that's
mean, with the mommy makeover, people, and I think too, it has become.
You're swinging on monkey bars in 3 days?
It has become so commonplace in society.
You got stitches and the drip bags in you.
I'm not saying you're literally swinging on monkey bars, but you're up and moving around. Because that's how they market it. Like, it's a mommy makeover. Yeah, you're gonna have some recovery time. You're not gonna be able to pick up your kids right away, but you ain't gonna be out of it. Like, yeah, you might, it might be
maybe
like
not 4 or 5 weeks then.
No, don't get me wrong. It may be that 4 or 5 week waiting time for you to resume all normalcy, but you probably could be in the mall in 4 days. You might be in a little bit of pain. You might still have drains attached under your big. You wear
hoodies and sweatpants.
Exactly.
And shit like
that. See Dre and Michelle that we like on Instagram. I remember when she had she was transparent about that. She was getting something done. I think lipo or something.
Ridiculous.
So lipo or something like that, and it was funny because she showed. Her going to the office or her at the office before the procedure with a sweatsuit that was probably 4 sizes too big, but just comfy clothes that you get when you're going in for surgery. Because when you got to put these clothes back on, you don't want nothing snug and hugging you. If you do have drains like the girls will have on their boobs or their stomach, you want it to be covered. But you're probably walking out of there, to your car for somebody to drive you home. You're not down and out, which again is the lure, because you can be up quicker than if it was some major surgery.
Are you for surgery or not for surgery?
For myself?
No. Are you for surgery or not for surgery? Do you think that if women couldn't have surgery, it's such a bad thing, it's the end of the world, that it's something that should be done?
Let's also acknowledge,
and you're a God-fearing woman. Should you be cutting on your body?
No. Let's also acknowledge, y'all, the men's out there, y'all done started getting lipo and all that stuff too.
Dumbass niggas, like y'all shouldn't be doing that shit neither.
But I will say, and any of my friends, my sisters, anybody know they ask me, I'm always going to say no. But even after, and I don't knock anybody that does it, but if you ask my opinion,
Right.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm not. Again, she's not knocking anybody. I'm not asking her to knock anybody. I'm just saying, do you think if they took that away from women, if you what wasn't allowed to get surgery, is it some big fucking
No,
deal?
I don't think so. I don't, because again, for me, after the passing of Jacky Oh, I was talking to somebody I love, and she was saying how she had been heavily considering a tummy tuck. And I was like, absolutely not. I said, listen, there is no elective surgery that is worth risking your life. You need, I had to get my gallbladder taken out. I had to do that. I had other surgery that I had to have. I had a lump in my breast, not cancerous, but I had to get that removed. Every time getting put to sleep, I think it's this weird calmness, because one, I mean, you can avoid it by just saying, no, I'm not getting surgery. But if you're getting the surgery, you can't avoid it. And it's kind of this, just made me feel a little emotional. It's this weird calmness. I'll speak for me. I don't know how other people feel, that comes over you where you have to accept that this might be the last time, that I open my eyes. This might be the last time that I see my husband. God just, for me, I'm not a panicky person, and that's why I want to get this amazing tattoo, because I like to look at life through, like they say, rose-colored lenses. I like to look at the bright side, so I like to think to myself, I'm going to be okay. But in that moment, I come to a moment of acceptance, like, all right, God, this is it. Like, it's nothing I can do. This just might be it. But so with all that being said, I don't want to electively do that. Like, I've only had to do that I've had 5 surgeries where I've had to be put to sleep, and every time it's that, like, I don't want to say I have requested surgeons to hold hands and pray around me before I fall asleep. I have talked to surgeons or anesthesiologists as they're administering medication to me about their faith, and do you pray? Are you feeling okay today? Literally while I'm laying there and they about to, like, pump me up, because I want to make sure we hear, like, you good with God? Y'all gonna pray? I need to know. And not to say I need to know, that's not going to make me okay, but maybe that's that reassurance for me, because I accept the fact that this could all go left in the next moments while I'm asleep, and there's nothing I can do about it. And so there's nothing in this world that would make me or anybody that I love allow me to be like, oh yeah, go ahead, girl, do that. Because it's just
not
too
married
scary.
to me. Not fucking married to me. You can forget that shit. Not married to this motherfucker. Like, no. Like, I wouldn't blame DC. I wouldn't say, like, you should have kept your, like, none of that. I'm just saying, not this fucking dude. Like, we ain't doing that. I love you the way you are, and we ain't doing that. Like, that's just not how we operate. Shout out to DC Young Fly. Rest in peace to Jacky Oh. And another thing that people are doing is having these liposuction things awake. You see videos like that where you see people awake and they, like, in the belly.
You know what's scary about that to me is,
it's like,
how much damn Novocaine do you need to be able to withstand?
I think you're on
that?
like a Twilight, but that's like the Twilight they give you when you have like a up your butt, like a
colonoscopy.
Yeah, they give you a Twilight.
No. Twilight, you're out. I've had a colonoscopy. You're out.
Okay.
It's like a nap. I mean, Twilight, you're out. And I think the reason why they call it Twilight is because when you wake up, you don't feel as groggy as when you're fully under.
Okay.
But you're out during a colonoscopy. During Twilight, these people are awake. Like the lady who you talked about who did the Dubai and North Philly for the prom, she, love her or hate her, whatever you want to think about her, she does a lot of things for social media attention, like the yams that she made with all the sugar. But she has a business, whatever. She does a lot for the community. But she had surgery, lipo in her stomach, and then recently, like lipo in her legs or something, that she was fully awake. So Twilight is different. But it just makes me think, how much numbing do they have to do?
People don't want to go to the dentist
that?
because of pressure and moving and shit. But you're going to just lay there and let people fucking flap your skin.
Well, no, that's the time. So lipo is like you said, just the
they in there sucking out fat. The skin's moving around and no, man, and they pulling fat out while you're alive.
While you're alive?
I mean, while you're awake.
You ever laugh? And we experienced this a couple weeks ago when we went to see Kev on stage, and I was telling you how the next morning it felt like I had did 100 crunches, like my stomach was hurting so bad from just and I had to think to myself, what the hell? Because I knew I hadn't done no crunches.
So lipo must feel like you did 1,000,000
That's
crunches.
what I'm saying. I can't imagine what your stomach muscles
if you
must
laugh,
feel
you
like.
might pass away. You like put me in a room and don't nobody make me laugh.
I don't think you can laugh.
Because if I giggle, I'm gonna pass away.
Yeah, I don't think you can laugh. Like I just can't imagine it.
Again, shout out to DC. My heart aches for you, bro. And rest in peace, Jacky Oh. I'm sorry that she's gone and has 3 kids left here with no mom. But you know, I hate the cliches that God don't put nothing on somebody that people can't handle. I don't believe in that, but I just fuck with DC and my heart goes out to him.
One of the things I saw a video, I don't know, I guess some family members that the children were with, and they're very young. They seem to be in good spirits, you know, so that was a bright side. Why you don't believe God don't put anything on you can't bear?
Because some people, I think it's too much for us to bear. That's just my personal opinion. It's nothing against God. I just see stories and see things about a person that you may have a mother die, a father die, a wife die, a child die, and they spiral out of control. You know, it's people on the street homeless because of things like that, because life just went left for them. So those are the people I'm speaking for when I say everybody can't handle shit like that.
Okay.
There's suicides over shit like that. And, you know, not everybody comes out on the other end clean, you know, after 4 or 5 deaths in 2 years. That just don't happen for everybody just because you're human. Some people spiral out of control. You never see them again. They kill themselves. They end up homeless on the street because they mind that chemical imbalance is just knocked off because grief is overstricken them. And in those situations, that's clearly a person that can't handle what's going on in their life right now. Rightfully so. So that's how I look at it. Somebody has to speak up for those people. Travis Rudolph. Heard the name?
I have. So can I just confirm?
Football player from Florida State.
Right, he was he cheated on the girl or something, or was
cheated
fighting the girl.
Well, she was fighting him.
She called her brothers or something. Okay, I just want to
Travis
make sure it
Rudolph
was the right
from Florida
story.
State was messing with a girl, and they were fighting in front of the ring camera. She was not fighting. She was beating him because he cheated on her, and then she called her brothers and said, "Come shoot his shit up." Yeah.
Oh.
A lot of the people might have seen this clip on social media of this girl looking like a psychopath killer talking about all I said was go shoot the shit up. And the DA was like, well, explain what the shit is. And she's going on and on talking about anything but a person. Like, so the lady's like, shit could have been his mom's house. It could have been a car. It could have been anything. Like, and she's just like, I don't know what you think it is, but I said something when I was mad, and that's just it. Like her matter-of-fact attitude, nonchalant attitude about quote-unquote come shoot his shit up, not like her not grasping that that's a threat of murder was mind-boggling to me.
Unpopular opinion. And
the way you were digging your grave as you sat up there saying, yeah, I called my brother and told him to shoot his shit up. But when my brother, and now she's testifying against her brother.
Yeah.
And let me just say, he got found not guilty on all charges.
Well, you finished the story because you didn't tell why he was on trial.
Because he shot and killed one of the dudes that was with her brother.
That came to shoot the shit up.
Yeah, that came to shoot the shit up.
So, when I first heard this, I hope this isn't indicative to say, like, maybe I'm a little off. But I understand what she means when she says, if you say, I'll shoot all this shit up, That don't mean I'm gonna kill a person. That means I could be outside your house and I want to shoot out every window. I want you to duck and be on the floor.
If you calling some niggas to say shoot this shit up, what happens when you shoot shit up?
You want the person.
People get shot. When you shoot a house up, what happens when the people inside?
Okay, but like you said, shooting a house up, I want to scare you. I want to cause damage. I want to make you mad. I want to make you afraid.
Okay, you need to listen to Jasmine Sullivan
just listen.
Hit a car or break a window or some shit.
It's not directly saying I want you to shoot him. Now, I get that within the activity of shooting this shit up, somebody could get killed or shot. Let's just say shot. Killed, of course, but they may not be killed, but they could be shot. People could be harmed. But my directive to I'll shoot all this shit up means I will shoot everything up in this house, not a person.
But I'm in the house.
That's like, okay.
I just put you out. We just fought. You leave, call your brothers walking off the porch. Come shoot this shit up. So you mean come over here? So sister, you mean go over there and shoot the windows out of his house? He in the living room.
But again, in your mind, you're thinking, in my mind.
She said this was my second home. I wouldn't want nothing to happen there. What the fuck are you talking about when you just said shoot this shit up?
Yeah, that's stupid. I get that the intent does not necessarily mean to hurt him, to make him mad, to ruin his house, to damage his house, to cause harm to the entire...
I think we started off the podcast with you saying intent doesn't matter. It's the outcome.
I understand. So I understand, but I understand her mental space in saying it. Yes, the outcome is bad because not only could he have been killed, but he wasn't, but he retaliated and one of your brothers or friends, whoever.
Your brother's friend lost his life.
I understand the outcome because of, it's bad to tell somebody to come shoot the shit up, even if you do mean just to shoot the house, because you think about this. I could be mad at you, right? I'm thinking back to my younger years. But just listen. I remember a time when I was mad at you. I had left, right? Now, when I say left, like I came back, but I had left, and you were in the house. And let's say your car was in the driveway. This is when we had the gray truck. I could have been like, I'm going to shoot this shit up and shot your car all up just to make you mad. Like, made your car look like Swiss cheese. Like just to make you mad. But I don't want to hurt you.
No.
I don't want to hurt you. I want to shoot this shit up. Like, make you mad, make you run, duck on the floor. You better get away because I'm not trying to hurt you, but I'm trying. The
law says if you shoot the shit up, it could have been a person who occupies the shit in there, which is attempted murder. Plain and simple. You can't shoot my car up. I could have been in my fucking car. It's my car.
Well, yeah.
You can't shoot my house up. I could have been in my fucking house. It's my house.
I understand, and it was wrong. I'm just saying I understand her mental space in saying the intent wasn't to shoot him.
This is women. This ain't. I thought it was just one crazy woman. This is women who think like this. Who think, babe, just imagine if you went to some party and you called me crying on the phone saying, babe, come down here and shoot this shit up. Some nigga just smacked me. Do you think I'm coming down there for some specific person? Or am I coming down there to... She called me and told me come shoot this shit up. So I'm coming down there to shoot this shit up.
Yeah, I get
it. I'm not getting out the car saying, where you at? Like, I'm coming out the car like, get out the way, duck, because I'm about to shoot this shit up.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and it's wrong because in doing so, and shooting the shit up, somebody can be shot. So I get it.
That's like a revelation to people. Wow.
I get it, but I'm just, I get that
when you make that call, come shoot this shit up, that means
anything can go down.
Yeah, it's up. You fire bullets into that front window because I want to put holes in your house. Okay, I could have been in the house. I could get a shot in the fucking head. You want to come shoot my car up. I could have been ducked down playing with the radio. You come put 20 holes in my car. Like that's attempted murder.
Okay, what if I know you're not home, right? And I send somebody to do it just so that when you come home, you'll be mad. That's not attempted murder.
I think it is on the books.
Oh, wow.
I think it is
even
on the
if
books.
I knew for certain you weren't there?
Because how would you convince police that you knew for certain?
He was with me. But I knew he was cheating last night, so I sent somebody to shoot his house up so when he go home, he would see it.
You still going to jail. I don't know if it's for attempted murder, but you still going to jail. And
Well,
I'm pressing charges if you shot my shit up.
I'm happy that he did get off, because when I did hear this story, I thought to myself, that's self-defense. Like, people came to his house, you know, even if it wasn't directly to harm him, but they came to his house with weapons. He retaliated. That's self-defense. Like, why should he be charged with anything? So I'm happy that he was found not guilty. Now the question remains, what's going to happen to her or the rest of them?
I don't know.
It probably will be felony murder, because
she should be charged for that dude dying. She should have a manslaughter charge or something, but she should be charged for getting up there and talking like that on the stand. Talk like you out of your mind. Like, you, if that was a black guy who said, I shot the shit up and I didn't mean to shoot, like, it wouldn't even be a thought of listening to you. You made a call that said shoot the shit up. And then they asked you to explain, what's the shit? It could have been a house, could have been a car, could have been a person, anything but a person. Like, no, you can't distinguish that when bullets are flying.
I know, but and I understand intent does not outweigh the outcome, but I understand that the intent doesn't necessarily mean to hurt him.
Let's say, let's say if I was so mad at you that I said, you know what? She broke up with me and she loved her fucking dog. I'm gonna send somebody over there to kill her dog. And I send somebody over there to kill your dog, but in the midst of him killing your dog, he kill you.
Well, that's completely different, because you specifically said go kill
your dog.
Right.
Not you. So why am I responsible for him killing you? I asked him to kill your dog. I didn't say a person. I said the dog.
But you'll probably be charged with felony.
I actually specifically said don't touch her, kill the dog. And something happened where you saw him and he ended up killing you.
It'd probably be some kind of felony murder charge, because he was acting out a crime per your directive, which led to me being killed. So if you had sent him to my house for anything, then I would be alive.
Same thing with that. If you hadn't told him to come shoot the shit up, you would be alive. I knew where I was going with it. I was driving. I knew where I was going.
And I was in the car with you. I understand why she should be charged, why the accomplices with the shooter should be charged. I get that. But I also understand her. She didn't realize what she was, or maybe she did realize, but I understand if she says that wasn't my intent. Too bad, so sad it happened. Mm-hmm. So now you have to be held accountable.
People commit robberies every day with their intent's not to murder, but then murders happen.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Tell people what you learned real fast so we can get to the grams.
Yeah, so let me learn. Let me tell y'all. So I know that we have been hearing about this air quality. So just wanted to give y'all some quick information on what exactly does it mean. So the air quality levels go from 0 to 500, right? 0, as you can imagine, is good. So from 0 to 50 is good. It means that the air quality is satisfactory. It poses no threat to the population. That's a green level. The yellow level is 50 to 100. Moderate air quality is acceptable. Only sensitive people may have some health issues. Sometimes we see that with like a large volume of like pollen in the air. You may see that, but that's okay. 100 to 150, it gets into the orange. It's unhealthy for sensitive groups. Sensitive people are affected. Normal people are not affected. So sensitive people would be like your people that have respiratory issues, asthma, COPD, bronchitis, because it's air quality. You're breathing it in.
It's just COVID.
Then we get into the red zone, which is 150 to 200. This is where the Philadelphia region was as of this episode taping. We don't know where we will go. That is considered unhealthy. Everyone will start experiencing health issues. Sensitive groups are adversely affected. So it's really going to be bad for people with those, respiratory issues. Then we get into the purple kind of. That's 200 to 300. Very unhealthy. The entire population is more likely to be affected. All right. Now we get into the dark purple, and this is where New York City was today.
It's like
between
brown, like
300 to 500. All right. Again, New York City last that I saw was at 325. Hazardous. Okay. Everyone will experience serious health effects. This means businesses need to shut down. People should not be required to go outside Buses shouldn't be like, nobody needs
Pets.
to be outside. Pets need to be brought in. Homeless people need to be cared for. Like, there needs to be shelters, because nobody needs to be outside breathing this in. I can imagine you probably feel some kind of burning sensation in your lungs. And this doesn't only, like, in this situation, it's because of fires, but it can be chemical related. Like, if something like that happens, again,
there's shit burning in the forest other than, just wood. Like, so it's, you're burning off plants that probably shouldn't be burnt in the air, like other shit that's laying on the ground, plastics. It's a lot of shit burning.
So I just wanted to give y'all some insight into that when we, because I was interested, like, okay, how far does these levels go? What exactly, like, we know it's bad, but what exactly does it mean? So it's just really dangerous. Be safe, y'all. We don't know what the hell's around the corner. Just be as safe as you can.
Tomorrow's going to be worse. You don't know when this is going to air, but tomorrow's going to be worse, and that's shocking to think that. Like, this morning, I thought it was fog. It was smoke. And it's like, that's going to be thicker tomorrow. Like, what? I might come home like, fuck this.
Stock up on your mask if you haven't already. I'm thinking maybe, and I'm not saying this to be facetious, maybe we should get like some gas masks.
I'm going to start doing my,
Yes, we need to be on that.
Yeah. 3 grams. Tina Turner, Queen of Rock and Roll. Shouts out to, rest in peace, Tina Turner. I got to, rest in peace, Tina Turner. She was the queen of rock and roll. She was dope as hell. I used to think as a little kid that Angela Bassett was Tina Turner. But Tina Turner was the shit. I beat her ass her whole life, and she got away from that. Got married a second time. Was in love again. So that's all dope. She had some sort of pancreatic cancer in 2015, where she needed a kidney. And like I would do for you, her husband gave her a kidney, a second husband, which kept her alive for 7 more years.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's so fucking cool that he was able to give her that and give her life for 7 more years.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So that's dope. And rest in peace to Tina Turner. You used to listen to Tina Turner growing up?
I
Was your mom a fan, or was that ever on, or did you have to like seek Tina Turner?
Yeah, I can't say I ever sought out to listen to any Tina Turner as a kid. Getting older, I probably did, like Proud Mary and some other songs. I can't, I like her because of the movie. She was a beautiful woman. I can't say that I know.
Before the movie, was you not a fan? Did you not know the story, or the movie was like, that's when you knew the story?
I kind of knew of some of the more pop, What's Love Got to Do With It, but I don't think I was familiar. The Ike and Tina kind of, that connotation, but I didn't know the full story until the movie. She wasn't someone who, like, I sought out to listen to her music, but I wasn't like, oh, I don't like her, like Anita Baker. But,
Fucking legend, Anita Baker, A.B., a legend.
She is truly a legend. She
out
has
in these
beautiful,
streets, a legend. I would never say nothing bad about you.
Songs that have been written that I wish somebody else would sing.
I got nothing bad to say about you. You're a legend out here, A.B. 2nd gram. Shannon Sharp home was robbed of $1 million worth of shit, jewelry and electronics and watches and liquor and shit like that. And then somehow the next day he leaves FX1 off the grid. Some people, conspiracy theorists say, what did they find in his house that made him quit the next day?
Wow.
That's the internet for you.
I hadn't even thought about that.
That's the internet for you. The stuff that he got into with Ja, the deals he was getting, how Club Shay Shay was getting big, and then somehow he didn't have no issues with his house. Somehow they get in there and rob it. The next day he quits. And some people would say, hey man, he just fucking saying he leaving, but he not leaving LA. He's still gonna live in LA. He's still gonna live in that house, but so it ain't like a thing where he's like going or moving somewhere else because they robbed him. Right.
I mean, and it may have been a thing, and this is just me thinking on the brighter side. FS, like his show is kind of at his lead. I mean, I'm sure it airs on whatever the frequency is.
Him and Skip every morning.
No. I mean the Club Shay Shay
once a week.
Okay. But the filming could be at any time at his discretion, and he just chooses to air it. But other show with FS1, you got to think it's like going to a job every day where someone can kind of clock your schedule. So maybe he felt like, let me cut ties so that I don't have that, because if somebody knows, and I'm just making this up, like, okay, he leaves the house every morning at 5 o'clock to go to the studio to film this, and we know he's there, and he's there, he gets there at 6 o'clock.
It's live, so if they watching him, he there.
Exactly. So that may be the reason where he's like, nah, I don't want nobody to be able to track my whereabouts. Where, like, for us, I think we probably told y'all, but y'all don't really know. I don't know. Like, y'all don't know when we record the show, and it's not live anyway. So it's not like y'all know, okay, we know they home at this time. So that is, kind of popped in my. I hadn't thought about it until you said this. I knew about him being robbed, and I read about him, leaving the show. Didn't even like make any correlation that one had to do with the other. But that is possibly the reason why, because someone knows your job. Mm-hmm. Someone knows.
A lot of people are saying that he's big, he's black, he doesn't talk right, and he's getting way too big in that space, in media, in the entertainment industry. Like, Shannon is taking off. Like, he's about to be the next hottest thing smoking behind Stephen A. Smith. And this happens.
I mean, I feel like the robbery in of itself, it could be one of them things where maybe he got a little too loose with, like, to me, he always appeared from a distance before his podcast to be a person that was more not a recluse, but just more private, more, he wasn't like, okay, I know Deion Sanders is different now at his older age, but he didn't seem like a younger, like Deion Sanders, Michael Irvin partying type of person. Or at least he didn't appear to be.
Shannon Sharp wasn't a party person, but he was them. He was a personality on the field. He never shut up. He was the guy on the field talking all the time.
But I mean, he wasn't like out there, like, he wasn't outside. Where now he seems like he's a more cooler guy where he's outside, which could draw more attention. Where before he might have been off the radar.
That I agree with. He wasn't outside in the beginning. Now he's outside.
So that could, like, him coming across as, oh, he a cooler guy. He kind of hip. He might be hanging out a little bit more, which may, bring more attention to him. So it may not even be a connection between the robbery, because people in, LA, Hollywood get robbed all the time. Houses get robbed all the time. So it may not be any connection. It could just be one of those things that, oh, he ended up getting robbed like so many other wealthy people do. Mm-hmm. I hope that they don't come out with anything negative. One of the things that I love that
to be robbed for $1 million worth of shit is a lot of shit.
Yeah, I hope it wasn't short. But one of the things I love that people do when negative stuff do come out about them is ignoring it. And I know that's easier said than done. Mm-hmm. The Beyonce effect, which then trickled down to we see Lori Harvey, younger generation. But recently it was something about Duval. I always say, is it Duval or Duval? Duval. That came out, like some tweet from years ago that he put up, and I never seen him comment on it to like give an apology or an excuse or a reason or anything, and it blew over. I think so many times when negative stories come out about people, you kind of add fuel to the fire when people want to address it. And you don't owe the public no kind of conversation. You owe the people in your circle, the people that you love and that love you. If there is a conversation to be had, that's all.
Yeah.
Last gram.
Ozempic. Out here, people jabbing themselves with Ozempic, losing weight, 30, 40 pounds at a clip. But what you're not telling people is that one of the most common side effects of this medication is uncontrollable bowel movements at night. So y'all are waking up shitty in the bed.
Wow.
Sticking yourself with Ozempic, waking up shitty just to lose weight. Again, another something that ain't worth it. Like going under the knife and going to sleep ain't worth it. It ain't worth it to be sticking Ozempic in you if you're gonna wake up with shitty sheets and not know you shit. Like, uncontrollable bowel movements mean you got no control over them. They happen at night when you sleep. You wake up in the morning, la caca.
Why? You know, it's crazy you said that. I didn't know that was one of the side effects, but it makes me think.
The most common side effect.
It makes me. I know someone that used to because Ozempic originally was a drug used for diabetes. I know somebody else that was taking a drug for diabetes, metformin, that had the same side effect. So it makes me think, what is it about that classification of drugs?
I don't know. That's
that
fucking
does
with your
that.
bowels. Makes everything loose and shit. But people are having oily discharge and uncontrollable bowel movements.
It sounds like it has something to do with the absorption in your body of nutrients, which is probably why you lose weight, because your body.
Why your sphincter ain't tight? Why is it just coming out and you can't tighten up? You
well,
can't
if it's
clutch
liquid,
up.
then I don't want to talk about poop. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
That's gross.
Maybe you want to chill on the Ozempic, all the people out there. We might have some listeners that are popping a little Ozempic and gotta wear a diaper at night, but you don't have to. You can just stop. Like, you shouldn't be doing something that's gonna make you poop in the bed at night.
You know,
if you gotta take it for diabetes, you take it for diabetes. I'm not saying
right.
that. But if you're taking it for weight loss,
some people, you know, just losing weight is hard, and I'll be the first to say I'm part of that club. However, it is so achievable. It's mind over matter. It don't, and I ain't in no way, shape, or form saying that it's easy, because if
there was a pill you could take where you could wake up tomorrow and be 100 pounds lighter, but it shaves 5 years off your life, you think people would take it?
I think. Oh yeah, I thought you were gonna say me. But yes, I do.
You would take it?
No.
Oh, I'm about to say you.
No, because I was about to say hell no, but I thought you were gonna ask would I take it. Yes, I think people would take it.
Think people would, because you don't even know where the 5 years is at.
Exactly, like you could be 5 years
tomorrow.
Could have been 5 years from tomorrow. So now you shave 5 years. You took this pill. Tomorrow you're going. But I'm sure people would, because people have that. You know, again, rolling the dice, risk assessment. How much are you willing to risk? What are you willing to risk? Some people's risk level is much higher than others.
Let's do a wrap. Act 2 the podcast, episode 126, coming to a close. It's your boy, International Walt.
It's your girl, Tosh, the co-host with Moses.
Y'all can catch us on act2thepodcast.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and Tickety Talk Talk. If you fuck with us, you fuck with us. If you don't, you should. Peace. We need like some music.